Okay, can everyone hear me? Yeah. So, hi everyone, I'm Víctor Fancelli Capdevila, and I want to talk about digital infrastructure in cultural institutions. We start by the easy part. Cultural institutions, you know what it is, so it's every institution that has to do with culture. Archives are part of that, but it's a broader term to refer also to libraries, other projects, production, and so on. And the thing is that we are all facing the same issues somehow. And sorry, yeah.
Sound, isn't it?
The sound is not good. Ah, okay. Here there is.
No, your sound is good.
Okay.
My sound is bad.
Ah, okay. Okay, so we have cultural institutions and now digital tools and infrastructure. So, yeah, everyone is using digital tools, and to use something digital, you need an infrastructure. That's pretty easy to understand. So it's a server, it's a software running on that, it's everything, plus the infrastructural care, which is all the maintenance of these services, of these devices, and so on, plus the documentation, plus adapting the workflows, and so on. And in my experience, more or less, when you try to think about this digital infrastructure, you have all these characteristics that I put here. So it's really something to think about, especially in software development. It's important, but also for the infrastructure. And so that will be more or less temporal. And here it's okay, institution getting digital in the time, and to be really easy and basic. Okay, there is a moment before the pandemic, and then after the pandemic. And before the pandemic, nobody was really believing in digitality as such as, okay, we can connect the data with each other, with inside the institution, outside the institution, and so on. And then it was the pandemic, and it was, okay, we need digital tools, yeah, really fast to work as usual, but without thinking so much. And now we are in the post-COVID moment, and it's like, okay, we have a lot of tools, but what will happen there? So these tools need more maintenance. Are we providing this one? And the key question here is that an institution should probably have a digital strategy. Digital strategy will be a document to say, okay, how we decide what we need, how we decide how we take decisions, and so on. The experience is before the decisions were taken almost randomly between from people not having the expertise and so on. In this context, the Open Resource Center, the project I'm working on, it's a clear example. So during this pandemic, you have a lot of finance to improve the digital infrastructure, and we are in this context. And there was this Stiftung Innovation in die Hochschullehre foundation for improving the teaching in the universities. And they funded our project in the Cultural Art and Design University. You probably don't know that, but we are inside the ZKM. Hopefully you know the ZKM. And so on. So we have a 3-year project with 3 positions. And our goal was here, actually it's a lot of more things to create an archive and a media platform and implement it in the institution. and create a culture of documenting and archiving in the students or among the university and the students and so on. So we are doing a lot of really different things. Here there's a photo that was a course. It was anatomy of a computer. We just open a computer and look what there is inside. That's a little bit. So we are something between teaching project, developing project, investigating sometimes, and yeah, it's a mess. So the thing that we are doing is this digital assets management system, which should be connected part or together with an archive. Here you have a diagram we try to do to explain exactly what we are doing. I think we are not really good at it, but that would be the idea. And yeah, the idea is, okay, the university is constantly producing new digital assets, image, video, sound about conference and everything that's happening. And we need to kind of store somewhere and use later. So that's a little bit our our approach. And yeah, and normally an interesting thing is all the cultural institutions are facing this problem. So everyone is now producing videos, streaming and so on, and have to put this material somewhere that it's open to everyone in the institution so that they can use it and so on. And now the amount of these digital assets probably have increased. So before streaming something was really an exception. Now it's kind of a normal thing. Right now, in this moment, I mean, we are confronting these things. And yeah, and then there is this thing, normally you are either too small or too big to face this problem. If you are too small, you don't have the resources to do that. If you are too big, everything is really complex. We are in the great position that we are at the same time too small and too big. So everything is really complicated and we don't have the resources for do that. That's also a possibility. Yeah. And the problem, if you think about it, it's really complex because on the one side, there are technical aspects, and on the other, really organizational aspects, workflows, and so on. So you have to talk with a lot of people to get something. So really bad situation, starting bad situation, what we do, well, we have great neighbors, so we talk to them and we ask, okay, what are you doing actually? How do you confront this problem? And that's how we start. And we start discussing with some institutions in Karlsruhe, and we create this kind of network, which is called AuDA, Austausch Digital Assets. Digital assets, you know, Austausch, it's exchange. If you have to learn one German word, then this one, for example. And that's the idea. So it's the network is really heterogeneous in the sense that there is people coming from different institutions. So there are some archives, there are some universities, some departments inside the universities, and it's like professionals that have something to do with digital assets. That's actually like everyone, but yeah, that's another topic. And this heterogeneity allows us to confront really the problem from different perspectives, which is interesting. And we are growing really slowly because, well, we are sending emails. So right now is a mailing list, and yeah, we just have little time to do that. And yeah, so it's kind of Southwest German thing, but I don't know, if you are interested, we can also make the things in English and so on. So it would be great. And yeah, and the idea is, okay, we need to learn all together to discuss about this digital infrastructure, to be able to say, okay, we actually need exactly that. And we know we need that because this other institution is applying that have had these problems or so on. So that will be everything from my side. Yeah, I hope there are some questions and so on, and I'm really happy that the discussion on the last days was more or less about this infrastructure thing. And yeah, that's always a good thing. Thank you very much.